Hello everyone, this is Orlando from A Collector's Dream. Today I want to talk about the Strongsville show, the get-together, the cards I picked up, and a lot of the friends. I'm not going to mention everybody because I'll forget, and I'm doing guys that have followed me and some of the new guys that are following me now know that I just I'm just talking. I don't edit anything that I say, and I do a one take, and that's it. I make mistakes like everybody else, but it's me. That's me, and that's what you're gonna get from me. But anyway, the bottom line is this: Strongsville, the best time ever. It was like a reunion of friends. Some that you saw and you've met before, and some that you never ever met, but you know them and you hear it because we talk to each other, over comments. If I get emotional or excited about this, just bear with me. And I don't want to make it too long of a video either, because the main thing is to show my pickups. So I just want to say that it was the best time ever at Strongsville. The get together was super awesome, impressive, and the best thing. And I'll talk more later. And I picked this up from Scott, which I think is just appropriate in this video today. First of all, because of who he is, an incredible person that, as soon as he knew I was going, he offered to pick me up at the airport. And whatever, Scott is just, I just can't say enough about him and everybody else, so I'll mention Scott, and the next one I'll mention, and again, guys, you know who you are. I'm not gonna go ahead and go start with all the names. Is Rick, because he was my roommate, and the reason that Scott didn't pick me up at the airport was because Rick did. But I just can't say enough about what Rick did. I'll just say he took me to the airport at 3 o'clock in the morning. It was the first flight out of the airport. And it was kind of crazy because the TSA pre-check wasn't even open, and it's been a while. I had to take off my shoes and my jacket and all that crap. But Rick, at 3 in the morning, took me to the airport, and that tells you who he is. So let me get into this thing real quick. Strongsville was awesome. I finally had a chance this morning kind of go through and start, late last night and this morning replying to some of the comments, and I get so many comments, and I just thank everybody for putting comments. Good, bad, I don't care, and I'll share some of the comments that I get. Sometimes I get good comments, sometimes I get bad comments, and guys, I always comment back, and sorry if I'm sharing maybe some of the comments. Well, they're there, you guys can see it, but anyway, just a few I want to address. Sometimes you get, always get good comments, most of it, but sometimes you get comments that, kind of, aren't as good, but I want to, I always, anyway, let me just go and show some. So, like, need to slow down when showing cards so we can see the prices. Yeah, that's good. And of course, I do my best to do that. But I use a handheld. It's just an iPhone, like the iPhone you carry. So I don't have any gadgets attached to my body or anything that I could kind of hold steady. And, and sometimes when there's people around, I have to kind of scoop my camera through there, try to get a good shot. So it's difficult, man. Sometimes there's so many people that it's real tough for me to get good shots. But anyway, but one of the main comments I wanted to address, and this is, and Lee responds to, Lee's a long time commenter. I appreciate his comments, and he's a friend. He's a friend. But one of his things that he said on this video that I posted, my Strongsville video, I also think I heard you say in a video a while back that you only take $100 to a card show. That does not sound like a serious collector at a show. Let me know if I heard that right. Okay, so I'm gonna let you know. Let me get a drink of water and I'll kind of share this a minute. You know, Lee, I've been collecting forever and my entire life, lifelong collector. And been going to shows all my life. Anything I could drive to, I'd go. And if I've been to the national, first national was in Atlanta. I think it was 90, was it 92? It was the Olympics year. And when I go to shows, you know, once I'm not gonna go tell the whole stories I've told in all the videos, but the bottom line is this. I used to go to shows and collect certain things that I really got into and are kind of rare. So when I saw some of the stuff, I'd pick it up, you know. For example, Goodwin Champion cards, 1888. When I saw those at shows, you didn't see too many. I'm talking 20, years ago or more. You just didn't, you still didn't see them. You don't see them now. 49 leaf premiums, you saw the cards, and I collected the 49 leaves, and I had a lot of them, and they're 49, not 48. But, I sold a lot of that stuff, and that's another story. I've told that. And Mickey Mantle. I was a big Mickey Mantle collector back in the day because that was, the spring training for the Yankees back in the day was Fort Lauderdale. That's where I live. So I've told all those stories before. So what I do is this. So Lee, what I do is, if you look at my videos, and of course you do, but other people that don't or they're new, know that I just go around and I take $100. If I see stuff that's good, and I've done this for a long time, I mean years and years and years and years, right? So I could pick up in those days, 2, 3, 4, Goodwin Champion cards. Some of the common ones, $25, $50, super cheap, and in good condition, because I've always been kind of, eye appeal. It's difficult in pre-war, but I've always tried to pick up, good looking cards. Because I was a dealer, and I know you guys have heard this, but this is more for people who subscribed to my channel recently that really haven't followed me. So anyway, I'll keep talking here. Over many years, I've collected a lot of stuff, and I bought collections and sold collections and all that, and it is what it is. I'm a regular guy. I don't have a lot of money. I've never really been rich or anything like that. So what I'll do is, so this list here that you're looking at, I submitted 40 cards to SGC. Some, valued, a couple $100. And the value I put on these is the value, what I paid for the card. And these are the cards, and if you were watching my videos, that I've picked up since the last national, raw cards that I felt that, I haven't submitted an SGC submission at all this year, So this will be my first one. Even, I didn't submit anything at the national was the last time I submitted a submission. So as I pick up cards, like for example, here, I picked up a T1912 Recruit Little Cigars, a couple of them here, the Marsans and the Bresnan. Picked up American Caramel Mullen. So, I put the values in there, $100, $90, $60, $100, $10, $20, $30. That's what I paid for these cards. Anything from cards like the G-Men, 1936, 1938 Horrors of War, a John F. Kennedy kind of rookie card, and stuff like that. There's a whole list, right? 40 cards. It cost me, and the reason I'm showing you this is because this is all stuff you guys can do if you're patient and you do so over the long haul. So it cost me a total of $712, right? So I'm going to the Strongsville show. I know I'm already out $712 that I'm gonna have to somehow figure a way to put that out. So I'm bringing cards to sell, but this is the biggest vintage show that, other than the National. So I'm gonna bring out some of the big cards that I know I could put at auction, because I've already talked to a few auction houses at the National and showed those cards. You know, I showed it to PWCC. I showed it. They would give, you know, certain cards, like the Beecher card, for example. I took the Beecher card and the Kelly card. I have a higher version of the Beecher card, but that Beecher card, you all saw it. It's probably the best looking Beecher card out there. But I looked around in this particular show, and I did the video there. You guys will watch it. There was a PSA 5 Beecher, just like mine. And the guy had it valued at $50,000, which is way overvalued, in my opinion. But eventually, I think it could be valued that. The first football card ever. And the one that I took was the one, and PWCC would give it one of those stickers and stuff on that, and that's how they wanted to do it. We'll sticker it exceptional, and we'll go ahead and put it at auction. But the bottom line, and I showed it to Golden and a few other guys, Heritage, but I ended up, you know, really talking to Al, love of the game. And Al, I'll put one of my pickups out here in a minute, just so you can look at it while I talk about it. So Al told me that he would give me 105% of the bidder price. That sounded like a good deal. So I talked to Love of the Game here at Strongsville again. I wasn't there, but you know, they definitely wanted the card. And I thought about, you know, so, you know, I want to just see what's happening with that card. And of course the Kelly card, because I have the Kelly also in a higher grade, even though that Kelly was exceptional. And I ended up going to the show with that and a few other cards to try to sell or trade, to, you know, buy a big card, which was my ultimate goal, or at least go over there and get all my bills, expenses paid, and move forward, because I'm retired on a fixed income. So I met Ash at breakfast, and we didn't really talk cards, which I thought was the best thing about that. We talked about life, family, and God. Ash and I must have talked for about 20, 30 minutes. He was sitting at the table next to me when we were having breakfast. I never met him. And I told him I brought some cards to sell. I was going to show it to him. So I went to his table, and I showed him the Kelly and the Beach. I thought it'd be the Kelly would be in good hands there. He made me a decent offer. He looked at comps, looked at the eye appeal. I wanted a little more money, but it always is that way. I kind of needed to, I felt I needed to move that because there was some awesome cards in the room. So Ash made me a fair deal, cash deal. I sold off the Kelly. It's in the video where I showed Ash's table at the end, near the end. And I showed him the Beecher. I'll give you guys a good look at the Campy that I picked up, because I got the 52 high number Campy, but I didn't have the 53. I did have the 53 at one time when I had the entire set, but I did sell that eventually to get Mantle. So I showed the Beecher around. I showed it to Ash. Ash made me I'd say a pretty good offer, even though he didn't really know as much about the card. You know, as far as how that card is, you know, the first football card, and the condition of that card, and the front of that card, that it was untouched, basically, in a scrapbook for over 100 and something years. So he made me a good offer, but no, you know. So I felt that at this time I was going to go ahead and just wait till the National and probably give it to Al at Love of the Game personally. I had my money from the Kelly to buy a big card that I wanted, which was a little bit more, but pretty good, not bad. So there was a friend of mine that was there, Don, and just give me a minute. Don, if you saw his videos, the video that I put out, the last video I just put out about Don's collection, the first video I ever did, and really one of my favorites football cards was the Beecher and the anonymous card that I have. And Don, biggest vintage football, probably the best knowledgeable football collector. And this is what I love about this hobby. You get to meet people, and you know, you see them in person, and talk to them is just a different experience. So I need a drink of water. So Don is again one of the top football collectors in the world, probably in the world. I don't know. He says he's not, you know, but all these guys are very humble. So he had the Beecher, and he had the Beecher in the album cut from the album that I have, the Goodwin Champion album, but he had it, somebody cut it out of the album, and he had the cut, only the cut. And you know, he admired, you know, he loved that I had the book, and that I had two of the Beechers, and that was my first video ever, was my best video, the one my daughter did, about the Beecher and the anonymous card. So you know, he wanted to see the Beecher in person. He'd seen it on my videos. So showed it to him, told him I was looking to sell it. And he made me an offer. And I probably could have gotten more money at auction. I know I would have, but I sold it to. Sorry guys, I get emotional because I've had that card forever. It was the first big card from the Goodwin Champion set that I got. And the reason I sold Tim was because he was never going to sell that card again. So that card is, me and him joked around, it's in the black hole. Excuse me. It's in the black hole of a collector. So it's going to be in his collection forever. But that gave me all the money I needed, all the cash I needed to get me the big cards that I needed. And at the end, I brought home the $700 cash that I charged for those cards, and that's after, and I also paid Rocket Rig and cash and whatever else expenses I had. So my most successful trip, I think, ever, where it didn't cost me any money. It was 2 cards that I've had for a long time. They were duplicates. You know, it's that's kind of what I've been doing for a long time. So as I you know, over the years, I've sold pretty much all my sets from 50s and 60s, which were almost, or all of them were complete, you know, including this 53 Bowman complete set that I did sell years ago. Because I figured, you know, I went back to the pre-war, and you know, that's kind of the kind of niche that I've gotten into lately. By lately, I mean the last 15, 20 years of my collecting life. I mean, I've been doing this for over 50 years. So it's a slow process, Lee. You work slowly, you know, little by little. And what I'm going to do now is all these cards that I'm getting graded, they're going to the National, where I can work up some, all but a few. A few are going to remain in my collection. One of them that's going to remain in my collection is going to be this this Pee Wee Reese that I got from Alex, Roman 51. That's going to remain in my collection. But the rest of them, for the most part, they're going to be going to the National, so I could do some more deals like this one that you're looking at over here. And if you look at some of my grading things, I did do another submission. I did before, and that's the one where I bought a, let me show another card that I picked up. I'll give you guys a good look at all these in a little bit, but I'm just talking too much crap right now. So anyway, let me move on. So I picked up this beautiful Roy Campanella. Let me give you guys a good look at that Campy. Look at that Campy in a 6. I just thought it was just beautifully centered. I just thought it was nice. It's real tough to get these with sharp corners and nicely centered. It's a little bit off. I mean, it's not going to be the Dillon centering, but I just thought it was a beautiful image of Campy. I've got the 52, and I wanted to pick up the 53 again. And the back is nice and clean. You guys can check it out real quick. So from the sale of those cards that I did, I was able to pick up all these. I added to my Mantle collection, and there weren't many of these in the room, and I thought, you know, of course, this is the O-Pee-Chee, 1966 O-Pee-Chee Mantle, and a 3.5. And the 3.5 is because of the off-centering, because it's sharp. And these O-Pee-Chee cards are just crazy tough to find centered. They're just not, you're just not gonna find them. But, you know, it was just packed fresh, in my opinion. Didn't see anything on that thing. It was just gorgeous. And the difference in the O-Pee-Chee versus the tops is the back is just like a lighter color. And of course it says printed in Canada on the back. Take a look at that. It was just too sharp to pass up on that. And the eye appeal was just off the charts. Mickey's 18 World Series homers is a record. I love those cartoons. So a little bit lighter than Topps cards, made in Canada. It's the 1966 O-Pee-Chee, Mickey Mantle. 3.5. So that's my second pickup, along with the Campy. After that, we're gonna go in, I wanted to, if you guys been listening to my videos, I wanted to pick up a Walter Johnson. So I picked this up. I don't know if it's Fatima, whatever you want to call it, but I think I call it a Fatima. 1830 Fatima, Washington, Americans. And that's Walter Johnson right there. It's Walter Johnson. And a few other Hall of Famers, but I'll share the Fatima real quick with you guys. See, it's got all their players. There's Chick Gandil, and there's Walter Johnson. See, and there's a few more here. If you look at it here, there's the manager is Clark Griffith. This is the Fatima, Turkish blend cigarettes. And they're actual photos that are put on to like a board, you know. That's how they're done. And I saw these, and I got two of them, and the reason I saw this one, because I was looking for the one I'm going to show you next. So this one, I'll show you the back, so you can see, and this one is in a 2. You know, they're tough to find. I mean, the 2 is because it's got some paper loss here at that corner, and it's got a little bit of creasing, but it's not too bad. It doesn't look like it goes too much through right here. But anyway, this is a Fatima Turkish blend cigarettes. And these are pretty big. I mean, compared to a regular slab, you know, you can see the size of it, because it's kind of like postcard type stuff. But you know, they were here. Let's go ahead and take a look here. It's no gold tips, but finest quality. And then it says special offer that you send some of those in. You could actually get a large photo of this thing. Mail it out there. So and again, it came in kind of like a cigarette tin type stuff. So anyway, that's my pre-war. So now I'm going to my pre-war pickups, and I got this Fatima, and this one here was the one that I had kind of on my watch list to get. And if you guys have been following me for a long time, you know I collect Cuban cards and Cuban players and stuff like that. And this is the Cincinnati Redlegs here at this time. And this is the first 2 Cuban players in the major leagues. They came in 1912. It's Armando Marsans and Rafael Almeida. And they came together from Cuba. I've told this story. I'm not going to go tell the whole thing, but one was a translator of the other one, and they were coming in here, and they both ended up playing with Cincinnati Reds, or Redlegs, Red Stocking, I think it was Redlegs. And this is the Fatima for that has both of those players here. And you can see here, let me see if I can get you a close up here. You can see here, it says right next to, there's Bescher, Ames, and then Almeida. He's right over there. He's right over here. All right. So that is Rafael Almeida. And you see the manager, he's sitting right next to the manager, Joe Tinker. Joe Tinker was the manager there of that team at the time. And then if you move over here, you see Marsan's, and Marsan's is here. The other guy has his hands on his shoulder here. Let's see here. I think that's Marsan's there. See, so 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's Marsan's. So these two guys, you know, Almeida and Marsan's, were the first two Cuban players in the major leagues. And this is the only card that they are both together. There are actually two of these cards at the show. One of them was graded higher. I think it was like a 3, which is a pretty high grade. And I could have gotten it, but I thought this was good enough for me. And again, I want to try to get not spend every single penny of my money, because I had already gotten my big card, my 2 big cards, which I'm going to show you right now. And I thought it'd be better for me to get a higher grade Walter Johnson, this one in a higher grade. There was a couple of these too. So I ended up getting the higher Walter Johnson, you know, kind of thinking more resale for later or for my family in the future versus the Marsan's. But personally, this is my favorite. I was really looking forward to getting this one and picking this one up. And this one's authentic. Picture's good. It's just got a crease. That crease there. It's not over Marsan's or Almeida, and that's the crease that it's got. But again, it's the same back. Oh God, I'm already going to 30 minutes. Okay, I didn't want to do a 30-minute video, and I still got my big boys coming. So, Walter Johnson. I wanted a Walter Johnson. I found the best Walter Johnson that I'd seen in a long, long, long time. And I picked up the 1922 American Caramel E120 Walter Johnson. Now there's an E121, and another YouTuber picked that one up that I was with most of the time. It was Darren. I don't want to start mentioning names of all pickups. I think he did do his pickup video. So this one here, I wanted something that could kind of match my, from the same set as my Babe Ruth. And I think this is a beautiful pose of Walter Johnson and that ornate border that comes out with these American Caramel. And this is a really tough card, because these, you know, the E121 is a set of, 120 cards. This is a set of 240 cards. It's the largest set, you know, in the 20s there, American Caramel. And I'll show you that. And the reason for that is because, here, let's get a close-up here. The reason for that is because they have 15 players from each of the 16 teams. So it has all the list of all the players. And so you could see, you know, Roger Peckinpah, Leon Gosselin, Sam Rice, all the players from the Senators in the day. So I like that. And it says, American Caramel, New York, Pennsylvania, and stuff. So, and I like just kind of the border on these. So I was looking for the T205s. I mean T205s and T206s, and looking through as much as I could to find a nice Walter Johnson. I wanted something good, and I'm very happy with this. I settled with this Walter Johnson. I think it was nicely centered. I think, in my opinion, a 3, I thought it was undergraded. Based on, these cards aren't easy to get centered, and it doesn't have anything on the front. I couldn't find anything to really make it a 3, and the corners are, for a card from 1922, the corners look pretty good. Maybe, a little bit, but overall, that card was just so sharp. When you see some cards that kind of jump out, And that's kind of the stuff they jump out of the case, you know. I mean, it just looks like this, these, you know. This one just, and like the big pickup that I'm gonna show you right now. So anyway, let me not delay this any further, because this is gonna be a long one, but I just had to answer a couple things there real quick and share my whole process of shows, I guess, and what I've been doing. So my big pickup, you got the polar bear. So I was looking for a Ty Cobb, and I picked up a Ty Cobb, the red portrait. I was looking at green portraits, red portraits, and when I saw this card, this was, my first purchase at the show, because I had now, after spending time with Don and after selling the card to Ash, I had my money. And I said, I'm gonna go big on this one. So I started looking for the Ty Cobb green. And I saw this red. This dealer had all backs, all Cobbs. I made a quick lap around just to be sure, to quick look at all the red and green Cobbs in the room. Came back and took a good look at his, and I gotta tell you, it was the sharpest, the reddish, the nicest Cobb that I could find at the show. I thought it was pretty well centered. I thought that red just popped out. I thought the corners were nice. I mean, it was beautifully registered, you know. If you talk to some T206 people, they will tell you that in some of the cards, they look like Cobb has, and other players have like double eyes, or you know what I mean? It's not focused. And you look at the D on the uniform and things like that. Those kind of details and things tell you, and this one just, to me, it just popped. And not only that, I was looking for a rare back, not the rare ones, but like old mill or polar bear, and this ended up being the polar bear back. And when I turned this around and I saw how clean that card was, it has a little stain down there, you know what I mean? But that's good, because these polar bears were put in scrap tobacco. And as you can see, it's the scrap tobacco, and literally in loose tobacco tins. They were shoved in there. And with time, the tobacco has moisture, they're moist. So it would stain the back of the polar bear cards. And kind of like the Cracker Jacks, you want that. You want at least to see a little bit of that, because it hasn't been, cleaned up and stuff. And this has some staining from the tobacco, just like my my polar bear Tris speaker. So that's why I got the polar bear shirt, guys. Polar bear. So this was my big pickup at the show. My 1909. Give you guys a good look at it. 1909 polar bear, red Ty Cobb. Oops. I'm so thrilled and I'm so excited that I was able to pick this card up. I mean, it's just one of those things that after many years of collecting, you pick up another grail. And that's the kind of stuff that I've been doing. You know, if I could pick up one big card or at a show, even one big card a year, you know, you end up, you know, with 30 big cards in 30 years. So it's one of those things, you got, you know, it takes time. It takes time, patience, unless, you know, you're somebody that has more money. If you're a Mike Petty, then you can just go ahead and just write a check. But in other cases, you have to take time and do your homework, learn the hobby, and enjoy it. It's the best thing ever. It's the best relaxation, and it's something that I truly, truly enjoy. And at the end of the day, you know, work up to big cards, little by little, and you get stuff you really, really dream of and been looking for all your life. So these are my pickups from one of the best shows I've ever been to. Not just for the cards, even though I don't think I could have done any better than this. You know? So, but the people, again, are just incredible. When you're able to sit down and talk, that's the best thing about it, you know? I mean, yeah, it's good. You see them at the show and then, hey, check out this card. What do you think? You know, that's good. But just to sit down and talk life, you know, and going back to what Ash was saying or told me at breakfast, you know, it's all about, you know, God, family, and friends. Cards is what bonds us together and keeps us together and makes our life happy also. But, you know, it's about you guys, everybody that watches the videos, everybody that comments on the videos, everybody that talks to me and that talks to each other, and it's about the community and the people. And to me, that, even after this huge haul, you know, what I'll remember the most are the people and everybody I spend time with. That's something that remains in your heart forever. These cards may go one day, but the memories of Strongsville will live with me forever. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you watching. Sorry for the long video, but had a lot to show. And it was an incredible show. It was an incredible time. Thanks, everyone. If you like this video, like and subscribe if you guys are new. And if you're not, I love you all. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And I'll catch you on the next one.